Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam.
Narayanam Namaskrityam.
Naram Chaiva Narotamam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Tamam
Devim Saraswati Vyasam.
Devim Saraswati Vyasam.
Tam
Tato Jayamudirayet.
Tato
Tato Jayam Udirayet.
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu.
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Bhagavati Ruttama Sloke.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Chapter 1, Chapter 12, Verse 12. Tatha sarva gunodarke.
Tata sarva gunodarke.
Tatha Sarva Gunodarke.
Sanukula grahodaye.
Sanukula Grahodaye.
Jajnevam sadara pandor.
Jagnevam Dhara Pandor.
Bhuya pandur iva ujasa.
Bhuya Pandur Iva Jusa.
Tata sarva gunodarke.
Tatha Sarva Gunodarke.
Sanukula grahodaye.
Sanukula Grahodaye.
Jajnevam sadara pandor.
Jagnevam Sadhara Pandor.
Bhuya pandur iva ujasa.
Bhuya Pandur Iva Ujasa.
ततः सर्व गुणोदर्के
तथा सर्व गुणोदर्के.
सानुकूल ग्रहोदये
सानुकूल ग्रहोदये.
जग्नेवं सदर पाण्डुर्
जग्नेवं सधरा पाण्डुर्.
भूयः पाण्डुर् इव ऊजसा.
Bhuya Pandur Ujasa.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace of Charna Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Synonyms. Tatha, thereupon.
Tatha, thereupon.
Sarva, all.
Sarva, all.
Guna, good signs.
Guna, good signs.
Udarke, having gradually evolved.
Udarke, having gradually evolved.
Udarke, gradually evolved.
Sa anukula, all favorable.
Sa anukula, all favorable.
Grahodaye, constellation of stellar influence.
Grahodaye, constellation of stellar influence.
Jajne took birth.
Jajne took birth.
Vamsadara, heir apparent.
Vamsadhara, heir apparent.
Pando, of Pandu.
Pando of Pandu.
Bhuya, being.
Bhuya, being.
Pandu, iva, exactly like Pandu.
Pandu, exactly like Pandu.
Ojasa, by prowess.
Ojasa, by prowess.
Translation, please repeat after me. Thereupon, when all the good signs of the zodiac gradually evolved,
Thereupon,
Thereupon,
when
all
all
the
the
good
good signs of the zodiac
gradually
gradually
evolved,
evolved,
the heir apparent of Pandu, who would be exactly like him in prowess, took birth.
the
the
heir
heir
apparent
of
of
Pandu,
Pandu, who would
who
be
would
exactly
exactly
like
exactly
him
like
in
him in
prowess,
prowess,
took
took
birth.
birth.
took birth.
Purport. Astronomical calculations of stellar influences upon a living being are not suppositions, but are factual, as confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Every living being is controlled by the laws of nature at every minute, just as a citizen is controlled by the influence of the state. The state laws are grossly observed, but the laws of material nature, being subtle to our gross understanding, cannot be experienced grossly. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 9, every action of life produces another reaction, which is binding upon us, and only those who are acting on behalf of Yagna, Vishnu, are not bound by reactions. Our actions are judged by the higher authorities, the agents of the Lord, and thus we are awarded bodies according to our activities. The law of nature is so subtle that every part of our body is influenced by the respective stars, and a living being obtains his working body to fulfill his terms of imprisonment by the manipulation of such astronomical influence. A man's destiny is therefore ascertained by the birth time constellation of stars, and a factual horoscope is made by a learned astrologer. It is a great science, and misuse of a science does not make it useless. Maharaja Parikshit, or even the personality of Godhead, appear in certain constellations of good stars, and thus the influence is exerted upon the body, thus born at an auspicious moment. The most auspicious constellation of stars takes place during the appearance of the Lord in this material world, and it is specifically called Jayanti, a word not to be abused for any other purposes. Maharaja Parikshit was not only a great Kshatriya emperor but also a great devotee of the Lord. Thus, he cannot take his birth at any inauspicious moment, as a proper place and time is selected to receive a respectable personage, so also to receive such a personality as Maharaja Parikshit, who was specially cared for by the Supreme Lord, a suitable moment is chosen when all good stars assemble together to exert their influence upon the king. Thus, he took his birth just to be known as the great hero of Srimad Bhagavatam. This suitable arrangement of astral influences is never a creation of man's will, but is the arrangement of the superior management of the agency of the Supreme Lord. Of course, the arrangement is made according to the good or bad deeds of the living being. Herein lies the importance of pious acts performed by the living being. Only by pious acts can one be allowed to get good wealth, good education, and beautiful features. The samskaras of the school of Sanatana Dharma, man's eternal engagement, are highly suitable for creating an atmosphere for taking advantage of good stellar influences, and therefore Garbhadhana Samskara, or the first seedling purificatory process prescribed for the higher caste, is the beginning of all pious acts to receive a good, pious, and intelligent class of men in human society. There will be peace and prosperity in the world due to good and sane population only. There is hell and disturbance only because of the unwanted insane populace addicted to sex indulgence.
हरि ओम तत्सतोम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं गायते गिरिमत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम् नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताक स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमोचार्यपदाय निताय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकथाधामधाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरा भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हराय राम कृष्ण यादवाय नमः Gopal Govindaram Sri Madhusudanam. So this is again a very beautiful words that how Sri Parikshit Maharaj has appeared on this surface of the planet. So it is not ordinary when a devotee, a descended soul appears on the planet. It becomes auspicious to all the living entities, to the whole planets. In fact, the whole universe. When pure devotee, appears on the earth, their wandering on the earth is all auspicious for all of them. So these kind of astronomical calculations or arrangement of the different planets, different zodiac signs, constellations, stellar influences, all these things are under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when a pure devotee appears, the Lord automatically arranges everything. There is nothing goes on its own or by chance. Okay, but everything is under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Lord Chaitanya appeared, both the sun and lunar eclipse and solar eclipse simultaneously happened. This never took place. So the scientists, they cannot understand with the dint of speculation or their what you call gross knowledge understand anything, because the laws of nature is subtle. And nobody can see the laws of nature as to how it functions. What the living entity can see is gross activities, gross behavior of one another. They do not know why they do what they do. Because the answer to the question why they do what they do, there are two. Actually, only one answer, that because they forgot Krishna. But however, after forgetting Krishna also, why they do what they do? It is because the subtle law of nature, Gunai Karmani Sarvashaha. Everything is performed by the three modes of material nature. So the law of nature is subtle and that cannot be seen by any living entity who are conditioned, who are in the conditioned state in this particular material world. Because what they know about the law is grossly observed, like the traffic signal. Okay, so those laws may be grossly visible, but material laws are very, 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 very subtle. So that cannot be understood. nor can that be grossly experienced. So only a pure devotee knows everything and beyond. That is why this kind of knowledge should be received from the bona fide souls. Here, every action has equal and opposite reaction. That's our Newton's law of motion, we think. But no, the material law has been designed before Newton discovered it, that every action of life produces another reaction. Not blunt every action has, but how the action will happen, that he doesn't know. Newton has only discovered every action has equal and opposite reaction, and that too very imperfect. But actually, before Newton discovered it, he already saw some action and reaction. Then only he found, oh, this is action and this is reaction. But the cause of both the action and reaction is unknown to him. The source of the action and reaction is unknown to him. Anything subtle is unknown to him, and he is the greatest scientist we celebrate. Just see our precarious situation. So the knowledge should be obtained from the souls, Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, from the bona fide hearing. So it should be obtained. Because this action and reaction is not something like what Newton said. The action and reaction is actually tend to bind us in the repeated birth, death, old age, and disease. This is very, very important. Very, very important. If you are not Krishna conscious, the actions and reactions are going to be bound, going to bind you with this material existence. This is very dangerous situation. This is very dangerous situation. Partial discovery of this thing, whatever grossly you see and you make a law of it, doesn't make any sense. The nature law is very subtle, and we should receive it from the Shastras, Guru Sadhu Shastras. Then we understand, oh, this is the real action and reaction. And this action and reaction is actually producing another act, this thing binding upon us, the living entities, if I am not Krishna conscious. If I am not Krishna conscious. So this is the real law. So this is nature's law, not Newton's law. We must understand the nature's law, which are very subtle from the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that means there are so many agents witnessing, just like day, night, demigods, sky, air, all are witnesses of our activities. All are witnesses. And under the direction, superintendent of Lord Krishna, they also act, and they are also bound to the reactions. So these are all the agents of the Lord, or higher authorities. And accordingly, we receive the bodies one after another, birth, death, old age, disease, again birth, death, old age, disease. So this is going on. Because of the subtle nature of the law of material nature, every part of our body is influenced. How it is subtly influenced is the constellation position, the stars, all these things. So to a certain extent, the conditioned soul may be able to predict the astronomical calculations. But however, the birth time and the constellation of the stars and the factual horoscope can be made by, if he is a very great scholar in the astrology, then it is possible, because he is really scientist, because this is great science. But misuse of the science doesn't make it useless. Because of the misuse of a science, it doesn't make it useless. So Maharaja Parikshit, when he appeared, he is not an ordinary person. He has seen the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the womb before he appeared. He is such a personality. The Lord knows that Maharaja Parikshit is there. The Lord had a purpose for Maharaja Parikshit appearance, his life, as well as his disappearance. Everything is arranged by the Supreme Personality of Godhead insofar Parikshit Maharaj is concerned. Srila Supreme Personality of Godhead has decided to give us the Srimad Bhagavatam. For that, he wants Parikshit Maharaj to be the root cause. And because of Parikshit Maharaj, that we have got Srimad Bhagavatam today, and we are reading about his own appearance in these pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, and the word Jayanti, Mahatma, these are all, if you misuse the word for a fallen conditioned soul, who is not to be glorified because he didn't praise the Supreme Personality of Godhead, nor he chanted the holy name of the Lord, this word, if we are applying these words, that is called abuse. Abuse of such words. Misuse means abuse. So we have to use these words to only to suitable Mahatma Sadurlabha, Jnaninas Tattva Darshinaha. So we have like that. And yeah. So Parikshit Maharaj, he was not only just a great emperor Kshatriya, but he is also a great devotee of the Lord. So how can he take birth as in an inauspicious moment, just like other karmis and sinners? Not possible. A place is also selected, a particular time is selected so that the respectable personage can be received on this planet. These are all superior arrangements. Superior arrangement. Because he is directly taken care of by the Supreme Personality of Godhead before his birth from the womb itself. And then what to speak of then his appearance. And then after appearance, every moment without cessation, he was thinking about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whom he has seen before birth in the womb, the thumb size, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, with a dazzling effulgence, with the yellow garments wearing and eyes red like fury on the anger on Ashwatthama. So it is very beautiful. Beautiful scene that he was just searching the whole life after he appeared, that is this the person I have seen? Is this the person I have seen? In this way, he was thinking of the Supreme Personality of God 24 hours, both day and night, to find out the Supreme Person, because he was so longing to see the Lord after the Lord disappeared. Yesterday, we saw how the Lord disappeared from the eyes of, visible eyes of Parikshit Maharaj in the womb. And from that moment onwards, he started searching, oh, where did I lose? Where is Krishna? Oh, Krishna, where are you? So he's searching and searching and searching throughout life. So his name is Parikshit. Parikshit meant to test whether this is Krishna, whether this is the person I saw him in the womb of my mother. So like that. So his name became Parikshit, and he is the souls for us for Srimad Bhagavatam and a great hero of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is not an ordinary appearance. So his appearance is wonderful. Before appearance, he saw the Lord when he was in the womb of Uttara, his mother, was also wonderful. And after his birth, every activity is wonderful. He met Kali, he received Kali, that is also wonderful. His death is also wonderful. He's the only person who knows beforehand that when he is going to die, so that he can make all the arrangements. So he was given a chance like that. We don't know when we will die. But Parikshit Maharaj knows. He got a message that when he is going to die. And suitably, immediately he became the instrument in the hands of Lord to give us Srimad Bhagavatam at the cost of his life. This is not an ordinary thing. This Bhagavatam we are reading at the cost of the life of Parikshit Maharaj, the emperor of the whole planet. So that is his sacrifice. So we should receive this Srimad Bhagavatam with utmost respectfully and attentively and submissively, so that we will take full benefit of this. The purpose of his sacrifice can be, solved. So there are different samskaras available in order to get a good son, according to the arrangement of the stellar influences, the constellations, everything. This is prescribed for the higher caste. When I say higher caste, it's Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishya. But today, we do not have any Varnashrama Dharma maintained in the society. It apparently lost. So today we have only Sanatana Dharma available, Yuga Dharma also, Sanatana Dharma also. A Sanatana Dharma cannot be really a Yuga Dharma, but it happened to be the Yuga Dharma for this Kali Yuga. But Sanatana Dharma is actually eternal. It's not for a particular age or Yuga. However, our Yuga Dharma happened to be the Sanatana Dharma. That is our fortunate situation. Okay, we are not following Varnashrama Dharma. We are following Bhakti Yoga. Okay, so Bhakti Yoga is the supreme to all other yogas, all other processes of, obtaining goal of life. So in this Bhakti Yoga, we have only 9 processes to follow in the whole life. And only 9 processes. And if you follow one of the 9 processes or 2 of the 9 processes, other processes will automatically manifest. That's another advantage, like bonus we get. This is our fortunate situation that we are in. That is where this age is called golden age of Kali. And chanting, remembering, hearing, chanting, remembering. So all these 9 different processes are the only thing that we have to perform as a devotional service to Krishna. Then we will be able to produce very good population, those who are Vaikunta kids, Prabhupada said. They are not ordinary kids. Automatically, you will undergo the appropriate time and place, and the living entities, those who are being produced here through those devotees who are following the Sanatana Dharma associated with ISKCON, Guru Parampara. So they will get children, those who are Vaikunta kids. They will be having Krishna consciousness, very healthy, wealthy, very talented, long-living entities. They will become as sons and daughters of the devotees of ISKCON. Hare Krishna. So anybody has any questions, comments, or realizations, please do share with us. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you very much for the association. So we will continue our Srimad Bhagavatam class on Monday, 7 o'clock sharp. Till then, Garandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Patita Pavan Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Bhagavat Satsang ki jai.
Jai.
Vaishnav Pranam. Vancha
Vancha
kalpatarubhyascha
evacha
Titanam
pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Jai Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Gaur Prem